trying to, so as we end in a different way, what impact do you think musically, so we can go back to the music as we wrap up, do you think R. Kelly brought to the industry? As would he go down as one of the greatest songwriters, producers, and singers of the 90s, 80s, and beyond? Or what are your thoughts as a recording artist and somebody who had #1 hits?
And it's like it's undeniable. Like to this day, like people say, like the facts are the facts, the reality is reality. But to this day, like people would say, "Oh, we're muting this guy, we're not playing any of his music." But then you go on TikTok, and one of the biggest TikTok challenges is that whole "Do It to Your Leg Shaking" record. And people say, "Oh, that's a duet with him and Ludacris, so it don't count." You don't hear the Ludacris voice nowhere on that when no man shaking his body to that song. You see what I'm saying? And it's like something that former one of my colleagues and peers said one time. They was like, "Man, it don't matter what." And it's not saying that this is a good thing, but it's just what they say, the facts of life. It's like no matter what somebody do, they say a hit record will change everything. So it's like it's some people that to this day, with all of this stuff that's going on and all of this stuff that happened with people, and I live this because there's certain people that do things to me, and it's like nobody cares because as long as this person or these people are able to produce something that they love, then nobody will say to this person, "Hey man, lay off this man. This man not thinking about you. This man not bothering you." As long as you make records, or as long as the Bible say men will praise you when you do good for yourself. So when if you can create an image that look like you getting money, or you can create opportunities for yourself to get money, people will take the side of the person who's getting money, or take the side of the thing that's lucrative and stuff like that. So in that area, in that way, I can empathize. Like like even other people who have wronged people in similar ways, it's like they still able to go and do whatever it is that they do. That's their job because they're a high profile person, they're a high profile celebrity, and because they still, like you said, they still producing and making money for the people that they making money for. They still allow them to go out and do whatever it is that they doing that's making money for them. So it just in a general sense, I feel you all day long. It's like people do need to nip stuff in the bud, and they do need to check a person and say, "Hey man, what you doing is not cool. Like what you're doing is not was up for real." And it's like instead of just saying, "Oh no, you can't say that to him. That's the man that do this. That's the man
Yeah.
that does that. He's this guy. He's this celebrity. He's on this level or whatever like that." So therefore, no, we ain't gonna say nothing to him. We know it's wrong. And we'll sit there and talk about the person behind their back. Like even the people that be with certain people will come back and be like, "Oh man, I apologize about such and such. Don't pay such and such no mind. You know how he is. You know how she is," and stuff
Yeah.
like that. All right, but if you know how they are, then why not say something to that person and get it rectified instead of just allowing it to go on? And then when they finally do it in front of the wrong person, and that wrong person don't go for it like everybody else, that up one person, that wrong person ain't trying to be no bigger person, then that's when it turns into an issue when it could have been stopped way
Yeah.
before that, years and years before that. It should have been stopped at the first time it happened.
Yeah,
But
back, yeah,
because,
back,
like you said, this
yeah.
person is famous, or this person had money, or this person is whatever it is that make people gravitate to them, or even this person might go make some money one day. It was times when I was in school, and I used to talk trash once I found out, like discover my talent or whatever. I remember jumping in this dude's face one time. Well, I wasn't really jumping in his face. I was defending a girl. Really, I was simping because that girl wasn't thinking about me, and like the guy squeezed her butt. And she was like, "Who touched my butt?" Turned around all mad, like, "Who touched my butt?" And nobody else was gonna say nothing because the guy, he's like big and strong. Like even in school, he looked like a man, and he just looked big and strong and dangerous. So everybody else like turn their head. I ain't see nothing. Me, simp master, I'm like, he did it. So then the guy like grabbed me up and like him me up again, like really like how they used to do on them TV show, Everybody Hates Chris and stuff. The guy picked
Yeah.
me up by my lapels and like pinned me up against the wall. He said, "I did that." I'm like, "Yeah." Yeah, and I still wouldn't back down because the girl was so pretty to me that I'm like, yeah, he did it. Yeah, he did it. And she smiled at me and stuff, so I'm feeling good. But this guy was really getting ready to hurt me, so that he drew back to hit me, just like on TV, drew back to hit me. And another one of my classmates who was friends with the guy, and he was about as big as him, he grabbed me, he said, nah, 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 you ain't gonna do that. That's James Green. He gonna be somebody one day. And so because of that, I was out of line because that wasn't none of my business. Me jumping in and talking about he did it and all that. I deserved to get punched in the mouth. But because I was gonna be somebody one day, that dude ain't let me get punched in the mouth. He was just like, "Oh, yo, you gonna remember me? You gonna look out for me when you get on." And that's what type of stuff people do. Like, you gonna look out for me when you get on, so you can run your mouth to whoever you want. You get smart with people. You can disrespect people, whatever the case.
Yeah, yeah.
Because of your talent, because of what you do well, but it's always going to be that one person that ain't going to go for it. It's always going to be that one time where that don't work for you. And then you get situations, whereas though it should have been stopped a long time ago. Somebody should have told me, like, yo, shut the fuck up sometimes,
Yeah,
that would have been that. And I'd
yeah.
have nipped in the bud. But I learned I'm not a person that take for a brick wall to fall on my head. That was enough for me. I don't think I never did that again. After getting picked up like that off my feet, I
Yeah.
chill about it,
Well,
but
well, yeah, and I think what's happened is that by this time he wasn't putting out new music, and so the labels weren't benefiting. He was going on tour, so he was making the money. So they hung him out to dry, like, yeah, we don't need you anymore. And so the whole Mutai Kelly generated in surviving R. Kelly, and they just said, yeah, we're not going to protect you anymore. Um, the elements of race in how he was treated. There was a sense of we enabled him, so we're as much of a victim as anyone else. But as I said, just I'm still a person that a lot of us who bought his music and listened to his music, I have to be able to separate the genius of a songwriter, who's done all these great songs, who sang, who did all this stuff. I Believe I Can Fly, You're Not Alone, what you can name countless ones. He did Stilo and no 808. I think he did 808, and so
oh
he's done,
yeah, yeah, wait, yeah.
yeah. So he's done so many different things, and so he just shows his versatility. I loved his remix for Janet Jackson's Anytime. So
Oh, that was
he
great.
creatively, he's just on another level. Um, how
True.
much of unfortunately, he was a victim, and he was enabled to continue because he was a cash cow for the industry. So, so that was our take on R. Kelly.
Get
You
all
know,
the, same, because I say all the time, if we really knew the behind the scenes on a lot of artists and what a lot of people do, different things, not all that one thing, just different things that people do. If we knew what everybody do behind doors, we wouldn't be able to listen to we wouldn't have nobody to listen to. Because we was
yeah,
like, oh no, we can't listen to him because he did it. Oh, we can't listen to her
yeah,
because she done that. We can't listen to this one because they rude to the fans, not minimalizing it or whatever, because it's
mm,
definitely, definitely a serious thing. And I agree, with everything you're saying about like people who need stuff. My main thing is nip stuff in the bud, like right away. When you see somebody
yeah.
out
When
of
you see it,
pocket, it should be somebody that people listen to, the whole artist as a whole, like accountable for their behaviors and showing how their behaviors can affect other
yeah,
people. Like it's not cool to talk like this to this person. It's not cool to do this. It's not cool to do that because you look at this person, you can look at this person's face. Like I remember when we first came out, like one time we was in the airport, and like sometimes just young guys period just do stuff to play pranks on their buddies and stuff like that. And it's like one of the record company people, she was real pretty. It was like one of the record company reps from California. She is like pretty, had like pretty eyes and all that. She was a beautiful lady. And the guys like pranked me and like pulled my pants down in the airport. But I mean, it wasn't like terrible to me because it was like at the time where everybody wore long shirts and
yeah, yeah.
shirts too
Okay.
long, looked like a nightgown anyway. So it's like you don't see nothing. All you see is probably like my calves or something like that. You ain't see like no private area, nothing like that. But she got so upset about it to the point where it made me upset. And she really like went off on the ones who did it. It was like, come on now, like what would make y'all think that was cool? Look at him. This is supposed to be your friend. This is supposed to be your teammate or whatever like that. Like, why would y'all do that? Why would y'all try to embarrass him? And it's like at the time, it made me feel like more embarrassed because it's like she was so pretty and I felt like she saw me in a light that made me look less than flattering. But looking at it now, thinking about it now, I wish we had more people like that who were not afraid to stand up to the artist, no matter, regardless of the fact that that's your job to keep the artist, like happy or whatever like that. Well, not really happy, but keep them, like work with them. And if somebody don't
Mm.
like somebody, it's easy for them to say, "Oh no, don't send me nowhere with this one. Don't send me nowhere with that one." But the fact that she had the intestinal fortitude to stand up and say this is not right. Like another time when I first started gaining weight, and they was like teasing me, like as guys do or whatever, like, oh, look at his belly, oh, look at that belly, ha 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 ha. Like, and the stylist that we had at the time was like, oh no, this is not cool. Y'all not gonna do this to this man. Y'all supposed to be on the same team, blah blah blah. Like, why would y'all do that to him? Why would y'all try to put him out there like that? And like people, we need more people like that. Like there are people like that, but we need more because for every person that's like that, you got the enablers on the other side. Like, oh man, don't pay them no attention. He know
Mm.
you was just playing. He know you was just playing, don't you? You know they just playing, don't you? So it's like for every person that we have that just does stand up and say that whatever is not right, you
Mm.
got the enabler over on the other side that's going to take up for us. So it's like for real, if we could get rid of the enablers,
Yeah.
world would be a better place because a lot of people really aren't aware of how their behavior affects other people, or
Yeah.
that is something the matter with it. Because, like you said, if something happened to this person, then they might think that that's normal. They might not see that there's something wrong with it. But it's like if you got other people that stand up and say that it's not right, that's one part of it. But the other part of it is that we do have to get rid of the enablers and get the enablers from around people because 10 people can tell you wrong, but all it takes is that one person to come back to you after everybody else finished fussing you out to talk about, man, that was some bullshit he just said. Like, you all right.
Yeah.
Just keep on singing. Just keep on
Yeah.
making those hits, baby. Just keep on getting out there and doing whatever it is. Keep dancing. Do whatever it is you're doing. You
Yeah.
all right. Don't pay them no mind. They some haters. They some
Yeah.
haters anyway.
Yeah.
That's what they say about the ones who really tell the truth. They haters because they
Yeah.
want the one that's getting the money for them, the cash cow, to keep on cash cowing.
Yeah.
So that's a big part of the problem.
Yeah, and that's what that's part of as I said, it's a you started off excellently saying we don't know the full picture, and all our perspectives are based on being based on our own experience watching the
Right,
situation, and
right.
you know based on what R. Kelly has said about being abused, and how much that can impact on him, and how
Mhm.
vulnerable everyone else was around. The fact that he did it for so long means that people were enabling him, and a proof of that is he came out with a sort of redemption album, which for him seems like, I need to change my life. But
Mm,
you could see he went fur he came out with "Oh, Trapped in a Closet" and all that ignition afterwards. It's almost as if he went far worse than he's ever been, because the label
mm,
says, this is how we're going to fund you, we're going to protect you. And so they
mm.
kept enabling that, because all of a sudden all the girls and all the young girls that were staying with him, this was afterwards. So after the whole Aaliyah stuff, this was afterwards. They were all being brought in and kept to keep him creatively going. So a lot more people should be on trial, and there's a part of me that wonders, if he was white, like a Brett Favre and stuff, would he have been a federal justice system gone after him, and would they have said, it's he pleads he pleads not well, would they have then tried to enter a plea bargain where he gets lighter sentence but gets to have to go to therapy? I don't know. And so um on one hand, we acknowledge his genius as a creator of music, and then on the other hand, we acknowledge that he was a predator. But we also have to put in there that he was preyed on first. He created this, and he was enabled to continue. So, but this is a part of the industry that it's double standards for black artists compared to white artists, and it is double standards when you're making money for us. We'll look after you. When we feel as if it's not worth it, then we don't need you anymore. We're gonna hang.
That
We're
changes real quick. You staying in one hotel when you selling records, and when that record don't sell, you ain't staying in that one no more. You
Yeah,
staying in a whole downscale. We downscale to get way down. When you doing good, you go to restaurants and stuff. They take you out to eat the finest restaurants. You ain't doing good no more. You can't even get a coat cut off of one of them
wow,
executives and stuff like that, man. That's just you become a stranger. Like you
wow.
see them on the street and you hesitant to come up to them and say hi because you don't even know if they gonna act like they remember you or not.
Yeah.
It's like it's not like none of that love. Like I posted, I don't know if you saw it the other day. I posted a thing that said it's okay not to be in the spotlight, and it was like a microscope shining down a light, and then it was like a bunch of people under the light, like dancing and stuff, and there was one that was sitting in the shadow. And I was like, man, from my experience, I had a way better time out of the spotlight because the only thing that being in the spotlight, even a little bit as I was in the back of the spotlight. I got a little teeny bit of spotlight run across me, but it's like all it do is get you like a lot of fake love, get you a lot of people that want to be bandwagoners and stuff like that. And then the minute that it ends, all those people disappear. And the same people that love you, what they say, if they the same people that cheer when you get your coronation as a king is the same people that cheer when you get beheaded. It's that
Wow.
people love a show. So
Yeah.
it's like all the love that you think, and you think these people love you, you think these girls is really loving you because it's you, but really let you not have that same success and stuff like that. They'll be with whoever else is hot. They'll be
Mm.
with whoever else, the next person that's doing what it is that you used to do. Like not saying everybody, you got, but that's why you have to more so attract people with your character and who
Yeah.
you are, as opposed to what it is that you do or what it is that you have. Because anything that can be taken away from you, if you ask yourself with anybody who you think love you, like if would they still love me if I didn't have whatever it is? Because it don't have
Yeah.
to be being a celebrity, it don't have to be being rich. If it was whatever it is that I'm doing now, that if I can't do that anymore, would this person still love me? And if the answer is no, then you need to get you some new peoples because
Yeah.
like them people is people you can help somebody, you can pay their rent and all that stuff. And the minute that you can't do it no more, they gonna go to the person that can do it. And even if that's like your arch enemy, then they gonna tell them all your secrets and all your stuff that you know, whatever. So it's just like just be careful of fake love. Be
Fake love.
careful of people around you for what you got, and you know, have fun. I'm not telling nobody to all the young artists and stuff. I'm not saying don't have fun, but I'm saying be smart. Look at the people that's around you. Look at how many, and think about how many of them were around you before this became, and think about why they were even around you then. Because, like I said, somebody defended me from getting my tail whipped because of what they thought I had the potential to do. You
Mm.
know, and just be good to the people that really love you, and be careful when you defecating on people. Make sure that it's not the wrong people. Make sure it's not the people that had your best interest at heart.
Yeah.
Because if one day you gonna wish you had them people, and you gonna wish that you wouldn't have did them like that. You know, and then
Mm.
sometimes it might be some reconciliation. And some people like myself, when I'm done with somebody, I'm done with like what they say, I give way more chances than I should. But
Mm.
when I'm finally done, it ain't no reconciling. And people, even if, you know, people say, oh, for would you do it for this much? Would you reconcile with this person or that person for this much? No, there's no amount of money in the world. I'm off you. I'm off you. And
Mm.
it's other people. I'm not the only person like myself. So there's other people out there just the same way. So just a word of caution to anybody. Just be careful how you deal with people.
Yeah.
You, your brother, there's always been from day one that I was introduced to you, nothing but love, you know. So it's like you and genuine, and I see how you deal with not even just myself. Like before I told you, I watched how you dealt with other people before I even wanted to be on your program. I didn't want to be because I heard how you talk to all these people. You know, so it's like your character speaks for itself. We can look at it and see it. But
Yeah.
everybody, I'm doing with everybody. People be like, hey, I want to interview you. I want to talk to you. I'm like, nah, man, you want to start some mess. You want to ask me some questions that's going to get some bull crap started that I'm
No.
too old for and that I
Yeah.
don't got the mental capacity to deal with. I had to come to see you on another tip. I get
Yeah.
up and I'm like, look, man, can you please counsel me and sanitize me? Because you know, I be very snap on the
Yeah.
phone. Hey, man, just be
Uh,
good to the good people and lead them other people from around you. Get from around them.
yeah. I
Be
mean,
with somebody gonna tell you the truth too. If you slipping up and if you did wrong, you messing up, have somebody that you do listen to. Have somebody that you are accountable to. Like, I mean, ain't nobody like your mother or your father or somebody like that. Ain't nobody the most high but the most high. But have somebody that at least can bring stuff to your attention and ask you about it and be like, hey man, did you think that was a little harsh? Or did you think that was a little messed up what you said to such and such or what you did to so and so over there? Like, hey man, what you doing, boy? Have somebody that could be like that with you
yeah.
to anybody, I mean, upcoming artist or any upcoming person with affluence or anything in any way, you know. Don't
Yeah.
never be that you can't be checked and can't nobody tell you nothing. because it's always something that you might want to hear. Some stuff you might be able to defend yourself. Like, hey, I did this, but I did it because of this. And they might learn something like, oh, okay, that's why you act like that. But at least have somebody that can ask you some questions.
Most definitely. Well, guys, I mean, I want to thank. I mean, it's been a a long episode, which I've always for a long time I've been trying to figure out how to do something around R. Kelly, and it's been great having Woody alongside to be able to bounce these ideas around. From one point we celebrated the music and the artist, and then the other hand we had to reflect on the truth that's out there, which he's been the one who's been caught and put to prison, but there's so many other people still out there who have been protected because they've said, we've given you R. Kelly, so we'll keep the rest. But still, there are lots of people who have been abused physically, mentally, sexually. And if any of you have experienced that, please, please, please look for professional help, because we do not. It's because we want to safeguard the younger people who are vulnerable in your presence, because it's quite easy for an angry parent just to physically abuse their child because of that's how it was put onto them, and that will continue going. So we spoke a lot. It's been deep, it's been different, and Woody's been able to drop a lot of gems about making sure you hang around people who are able to tell you the truth in your face, even if it's harsh, but they're there to save you and stuff. So please like, share, subscribe, and everything. We'll be back down the road, looking at different artists, different topics, and different genres and stuff like that. But it's been great, and yeah, we'll catch up then, guys. Take care.
Baby. Go ahead, Daddy. You're jingling, baby. Go ahead.